comes an aquarium, scripted lies to calm the hysteria. Pretty little fish where your colors fade, all you filter the scum that your breed all made. Hey, hey, what you take us for? Soaking wet, flip-flopping on the floor. Time has come, man, to do the right thing. Yeah, we don't give a damn about your left, right wing. Man in the middle gonna take his sling, loaded up with stones and crown the king. If you strike
1, 2, 3, 4, hit it!
Period, motherfucker.
Sitting in my room thinking crazy ass things, wondering about tomorrow, what tomorrow might bring. I gotta let it go, I tell myself so. I pray to God to help me, but I just don't know. And if this doesn't stop, my body might drop. Evil seed in my mind and ever to a crime. I gotta go now, I gotta get out. Million voices in my head and they scream and shout. I'm looking for a break, a skip that I can make. And if you're in my way, a step that I will take. I gotta collect my thoughts, then backing up the hearse. And if I gotta go, well, you're going first.
Hey, who'd you talk to? What's going on? It is me, Mike Leopard King Mike L. This is Legit Paranormal Vacation Planners, brought to you by LegitPodcast.com, brought to you by Legit Paranormal. That was my technical difficulty gaffe with the intro. So we got some extra music. It is October 17th, 2022, which is 10172022. Now, for the math geeks, the best I can give you is 7 minus 1 is 6, and then you minus the 3 2s, you get 0, but you still got freaking 10 on you. I got nothing. Now, usually joining me, as always, is Buddy Money Fair. But he's not here. Usually joining me, C. Beanie. She took a sick day. However, coming through, joining me as always, Bigsy Dodge.
Hi.
How are we, Bigsy?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm sorry the intro went so long. That was me, just being me. It was gaff. That's what I did.
I like that for music. It's all good.
Yeah. Did you see where your name came in though? The
Yeah,
drop?
I love it.
That was perfect for you. That fits your personality. So, the goal of this show is we find locations for people to go on a nice vacation, maybe like a quick one, maybe they just want to go soon, or maybe it's one you plan for. This could be, a go soon one because we're in the area today of Vermont. Am I correct?
New Hampshire.
All right, you're in New Hampshire, I'm Vermont. So I guess that's Buddy's way of saying what? Northern New England?
Yeah, we work together.
We'll make it up. We'll call it Northern New England. We created Northern New England. So I have 2 hotels that I looked at that are really beautiful places to stay. I'm going to start with the one that CB needed some information on first. But before I do that, I got to make sure I tell people this. We are selling vacations. You can see the number across the bottom of the screen. Allegedly. I want to give a shout out to 6 Sense Paranormal in Anna Gatlin and Go Get 'em Paranormal, which is spelled GOGETEMM. John Montelongo and the whole Haunted Crew SSP has been very kind to us. Bigsy, give me some Warner information before we get into this. because I know you guys have been doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What have you done? What's coming up before we hit hotels?
All
Let's
right.
hear it.
So we just got back from the Para Fair in Maine,
Mhm.
or Paracon, and that was absolutely amazing. We had such a great weekend. I met a lot of awesome people. We even got some people to want to come to the hall Heart Stuff Hall. So that's really cool.
Now,
Um,
when you met people, right? Was it people that are like famous in the field, or was it more like you met people that you connected with?
so I met John Saffis. Yeah, John. Yeah,
I'm not
the
going to be able to correct you.
Haunted Collector. It was funny because growing up, I've watched his shows, and I think I kind of offended him when I said that. But I told him I'm a big fan because growing up that I saw him and I saw his shows, and so that was really cool.
Why was he offended? Because you made it feel old?
I think so.
Did you start off with like, you old bastard?
No,
I used to watch you. All right, then what's the
of
problem?
course not. No,
I
I
think
say
you're good.
no. Growing up, thank you for getting me into the paranormal. 'Cause watching his stuff, I mean,
Yeah.
kind of got me into it. So
And you didn't say anything like, I watched you growing up. Thank you for that. I myself am like 50. Like, you didn't like make him feel even older, right?
no, not at all.
All right, so then you're good. Then what's your problem? This guy just actually, that's his problem.
Yeah.
You know,
He was a
here's my
sweetheart.
issue. People say stuff like, 40 is the new 30, or this is the new 50 is the new 40. No, 50 is the 50. Trust me on that. 40 is 40, 30 is 30. Leave it at that.
Yeah.
What else? I'm sorry. Continue. I digress.
So next Saturday, we have the 3rd annual bash at the castle, in Wilson Castle.
Mhm.
October 29th, we have the ball at the hall, at the Heart Stuff Hall. And December 4th, we have the Wicked Pissa Holiday Para Fair at the Heart Stuff Hall.
All right, wait a minute. Why'd you stop? I suspect Matt stopped the rhyming because you went with the bash at the castle, which has got a rhyme to it. The ball at the hall, which obviously rhymes.
Mm-hmm.
And then Matt has to stick in Wicked Pissa.
No, so that's a collab. One day it was like 2:00 in the morning. Me and him were FaceTiming, and we were trying to figure out different things to do at the hall.
Yep.
And I loved the something with the Wicked, and he loved the Pissa.
Pissa.
So we kind of put that together for a Wicked Pissa Para Fair. So that's what we came with at 2:00 in the morning.
Wicked Pissa Fair. So I guess it does rhyme. Yeah, I'll give you
Wicked
that.
Pissa Para Fair, yeah, it goes.
You know the only problem I have with Wicked Pissa, the name, is that I immediately think of Red Sox hats, Patriot hats. Like, that's my only issue as a Giants fan. Like, when I hear Wicked Pissa, I know who that is. I don't have to even see that guy. He's wearing cargo shorts, right? Some sort of sneakers. There's a baseball hat. It's backwards. And there's some sort of Red Sox t-shirt.
You're thinking of like a Salvi Wicked Pissa kind of guy.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I picture. What are you gonna do?
Not everyone's
right.
like that, man.
What else? Anything else? The thing I want to know about the most is the ball.
Oh yeah. So it's a 1920s themed ball.
Right, so
like the ball, like the at the Shining.
Yep.
Yeah, we
Yes.
want something like that. Oh, hello.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's super
But
exciting.
without like murder, right? Or and stuff like that.
Who knows?
Well, allegedly. I mean, you're not aiming for that. Like, we don't promote that. Like, I think I'm going to speak for both of us when I say that people that kill other people are jerks.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Can you
he's
not
jerks.
play here, please?
All right. I am starting off with something here. I'm going to start off with the Green Mountain Inn of Stowe, Vermont. Now, I read a lot of great things about the place. A lot of weird things. I would have loved to heard.
We can talk amazing tonight.
Christopher, man. I would love to have heard CBNE break this one down because this place it's one of those old white places. I can't describe it better than it's just old and very white. So it was built by a guy named Peter C. Lovejoy. Now, my issue with the name Lovejoy, right off the bat, is that I know for a fact that guys that ended with the name Smith was, they was because they were putting horseshoes on stuff. You got names sometimes for who you were or where you lived or what you did for a profession. Lovejoy, I don't even want to know. Sometimes I think it's just very white, very weird, that name. Would you agree?
I just hope Lovejoy it's a good person, not a crappy person.
Well, I mean, he's got two positive words in his last name.
Exactly.
Love and joy.
So if like you were like a Lovejoy, but you were like a serial killer, like that just wouldn't go.
I think honestly, yeah, no, I think if your last name is Lovejoy, you're more prone to evil. But then again, goes my whole 50-50 thing. All right, anyways, 1883 he builds this. So at some point, he sells it for 350-acre ranch. Right? Let me just see if I can get a picture of this old.
Sarah's just full of knowledge right here.
But he sells it to a guy named Stillman Churchill. Like if that's not like white to white, you know what I'm trying to say? So he sells a guy named and then this guy loses the mortgage. It gets foreclosed. I didn't think they could foreclose houses way back then. Like weren't they worth like, didn't you pay like 50 cents a month?
That is true. That is true. Yeah, because like back then, like you were able to just give checks and like not even have to like cash them. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I don't mind dog fights as long as there's nobody gets hurt because my dogs go at it all the time. Oh, there you go. So, anyways, he ends up losing it right to the bank. The dogs don't even like this. They know something's wrong. It ends up getting bought by a guy. This is where it gets dumb to me. It ends up getting bought by a guy named Peter C. Lovejoy. Whew. It went from Lovejoy to Churchill to Lovejoy. And
were they related?
What's that?
Were they related?
It in everything I read, it did not say anything about it. All it said was that like the first guy built it and it was really nice, Lovejoy, right? And he loved it. Then he sold it, for the thing. And that guy turned the other guy added 2 brick wings, which are a tremendous things. I'm going to show pictures in a second for what he did. And he added a double front porch. So the second guy, the second white guy, the whiter of the two, he added all this outdoor stuff. And it made it better. But then he loses it. A guy named Mark C. Lovejoy gets it. And he starts to like rent it out more to get people in. Also, though, this guy Churchill was kind of fun because he put a dance hall in. Like this guy tried to like make it, you know what I mean, like Vegas, but not Vegas.
Yeah.
Before.
That's probably why he went bankrupt.
Yeah, because nobody back then, everybody was dirty and filthy. No teeth were brushed. Like, you know what I mean? I always wonder about that. It just disgusts me. Like, I don't know. I don't know how people even got together. They must have been like, get away from me.
Hygiene.
No, they don't think they did. I'm not saying that about Vermont. I'm just saying that about the time. All right. So, the thing that got great about it, I wrote some stupid facts about it that blew my mind. So, all right. There was one president that stayed there. His name was, here's the thing, and I say it like this, like I'm completely stupid because I don't remember President Chester A. Arthur.
Chester A. Arthur.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that you have to say it once, I'm like, when was he? President Chester A. Arthur. And I'm saying Arthur as in A, like, Arthur the drunk, Arthur.
He was
President.
the first president.
All right. Never heard of him. Never heard of
might-
him. All right. Oh, I like the she had the handlebar. I was a little bit out of shape.
Very
But-
honest.
Well, I'm being kind. He's president. Didn't know his name. Never heard of him.
He's an
Weird.
American lawyer.
American author?
Lawyer.
Lawyer. All right. Yeah, but he was a president. That's even better. All right. The second odd thing was the only other president to stay there was Gerald Ford. Now, take one guess why Gerald Ford stayed there.
I have no idea.
That's not a guess. That wasn't even. I said take one guess. You said I have no idea. I said take one guess.
For the scenery?
He was a model on assignment for a magazine called Look Magazine.
As he was president or before?
Before he was president, he stayed there as a male model on site for a magazine called Look Magazine, and the spread you can still find online of him.
Mr. Ford got it going on.
Gerald Ford went from being a male model to a president that was imitated by someone falling all the time and just being a complete clumsy goof. Like, I feel bad. I mean, at least he had his run, but things get bad. Sarah just said magazines were the Instagram back in the day. Oh, yes, they were. Yes, they were. And they were better because you could smell them. Well, I'm a magazine smeller, so maybe that's just me. Here's the messed up thing about this place before I show it to you. So there was a guy in his nickname made me not want to believe it right off the bat. But anyways, there was a guy named Boots that apparently was born in room 302. And then there was a fire on the roof. And there was well, not on the roof, on the top floor in whatever room. And this guy had a little escape route that he knew of because he lived there his whole life, where he got onto the roof and saved the little girl that was trapped, got her to safety, and then died in the flame.
Oh,
So
wow.
now they all hear footsteps on the roof whenever there's bad weather.
Huh.
Bigsy, Buddy did not put that in the packet that he gave me for this hotel. Like, I would have liked to know up front that there's a ghost named Boots walking the roofs. Would you not? Right?
I would have thought it was like Santa Claus or something.
That's kind of sad, though, the fact that he's still walking the roof.
Yeah.
That goes back to our thing. Is that him, or is that just such a moment in time that was so bad that there's a piece of him that's left behind that just keeps repeating?
Oh, for sure. That definitely sounds like residual.
It's a residual.
Yeah. It's
God.
Sarah, yeah. Buddy probably thought it was Santa.
He probably did. Yeah, he probably did. He thinks that thing. He thinks that thing behind him is a window. I just don't have the heart to tell him. So, all right. Is it comforting to hear Boots on the roof?
No, because I would think that like there would be a creature up there.
You guys all think the same. All right. What do you mean by creature?
Like whenever I see like horror movies, like there's always like the creature or like the bad person going up on the roof. And
So you won't want to hear Boots walking on your roof.
No.
So wait a minute now. Didn't you tell me that if you saw like a ghost at the end of your bed, you'd try to get it to leave, but you would just still stay the night, wouldn't be a big deal, right? Didn't you say that once?
If it didn't touch me.
All right, that's my point. But yet if he's on your roof, you freak.
No, I mean I'd freak out both ways, but
All
I
right.
wouldn't leave. I wouldn't leave.
Yeah,
Right, Sarah?
I think the roof struck a chord with you though. I don't. I think that's the big one you don't want to hear.
Because when you hear roof, like what Sarah said, like you think of people trying to break in, or you think of something that's like trying to get into the house, and that's a little different because I'm more afraid of people than I am afraid of spirits.
All right, I'm with that. Plus, it's the feeling of something having the higher ground, which is always a bad feeling.
Maybe that's too. Yeah, the
Yeah, I'm
higher
with that.
advantage.
I don't like that. I don't like. Listen. The only thing, and I've always said this because I have shorter brothers. I always say to them, the only advantage of being 6 feet tall is that I can see the exit sign whenever I'm in a bar. That's it.
Mm.
That's it. And that's the most comforting feeling in the world sometimes is to be able to see the exit sign because I look at some short people and I say, I don't think you can see the exit sign from there. And that's not cool.
Yeah.
Because here's this quick side story. My band played the station 2 weeks prior to Great White, and we were loading our equipment through the back door. Are you familiar with the station in Rhode Island and what happened?
Is that the club that caught on fire from the band? Okay.
The old band Great White that came with pyro. All right,
Yeah.
so that band, the place burned. So many people died.
Yeah. No, I saw videos of that, and that was just horrendous.
A week to 2 weeks. I want to say the Saturday or the 2 Saturdays before. I can't remember. We headlined at a show there. The band I was in. I remember loading equipment in, right? Now, first I was like, they got a lot of foam. Like, why are they so worried about acoustics? Like, because that's what foam's there for. Sometimes you'll see foam in band rooms on the walls because it just keeps the sounding better. And for some reason, they had a lot of it in a club, way more than like other local clubs in Providence because we played them all.
Mhm.
But then the thing was this: when you close the back door, so on the way in the back, there was a door that would open where you could bring your equipment right to the stage, right? But when you closed it, there was a mural painted, and the door was part of the mural. So when I tell you that, like when they went black, you don't see a silver fucking doorknob. All you saw was a mural, and the door did not stick out at all.
So
This is
now
a
you're thinking
fact.
it's like a wall.
No one knew it was a door.
Yeah.
On my dad, I said to, I believe the drummer, I said, dude, if something fucked up happened, no one knows that this is a door but us. And when it went down and we saw it happen, we were freaking out because we're like, oh my God, a lot of people we knew were there. And
Mm.
I remember thinking, and I know this sounds weird because this is that Bruce Willis in me, but I remember thinking, if that would ever happened, I would have got out because I would have ran right towards the fire and went out that door because I knew it was there. If you watch that video, and it's horrific, everybody rushes this way. They all run away from the fire, right? Because they don't know there's a door there. And dude, that front door, it was so small, and like that side of the room and this side of the room and this bar in the middle, they converge right at that front door like a bad restaurant, like a really bad. So the doorway was, and everybody went this way. It's awful. It was one of the worst events. It really was horrific.
That video gave me knots in my stomach. Like it was horrible to see.
But the thing was, all right, you're an old rock 80s band, right? So I remember that happened when I was younger. So now I'll put myself in that situation. I'm an old rock guy. I'm not bringing pyro. I'm not bringing all these gigantic like theatrics. Like I get it, Great White. Like I get you were from the 80s and hair metal, but you're in a tiny little place. The stage was not very big. There's so many bigger places in Rhode Island that band should have been playing. It's ridiculous as far as stages go. No offense to that place, but it was a shithole. Like there's Lupo's, there's the Strand, there was so many places to play for real. That was like a place you played. I don't know, for the money, for the goof, to hang out with your friends. No offense, just the truth. So, like, the fact that Great White was there, though, because they got a lot of 80s band this place. Let me ask you this. You're playing for a room of 60 people tops. Do you really need pyrotechnics when the band comes out?
No. It looks cool. It looks cool, but like when you're in a small place like that, like especially because they had like the ones that came up high, like you do that outside or you do that in a bigger venue. You don't do that in a smaller venue.
That you can do that with lights. Like you could just bring the white lights straight up or just
Yeah.
blast the crowd with white lights. There's so
Mm,
many different ways you can start a show that have nothing to do with pyrotechnics. Like I get they were from the 80s, but
yeah.
if the roof is only yay high and there's foam everywhere, how is there not somebody in the band sober enough? Now look, I could be 8 sheets to the wind. I could be high as a kite. I could have taken a drug that hasn't even been named yet. And I still would have been like, I don't think we should shoot fire up in the air because there's like all kinds of foam, right? That's just a
Yeah.
fact. You all right? You all right?
Yeah, no, I'm just seeing Marley.
All right. I want to make sure it's nothing's going on. So, anyways,
It's a ghost.
so this place reminds me of that. It bothered me with that because I feel bad that this guy is I guess what am I trying to say? Trapped there, I guess, walking
Yeah,
around.
yeah, when something tragic like that happens, like sometimes I think I said this last week too. Sometimes like they don't know that they have passed. So they're just stuck there cuz like especially when you like die so quickly like that.
Look at that place.
But that place is sick. I love the balcony.
Like I would definitely stay there now because they've updated it somewhat, but they've kept see the brick like additions he added, like the front porch stuff that you can hang out on.
Yeah.
That would be a dope. Like in other words, this is not a place to go to if you're looking for, in my opinion, nightlife. Like in other words, I wouldn't take Buddy here. There's
Mm.
no reason for me and Buddy to be going to this place. This place has a whole like you're gonna stay there with someone. This isn't like it just seems like that, right?
Especially Vermont, like Vermont is like to go skiing or to go snowboarding or like go to the mountains or go if it's fall, like go see the scenery, like go for a hike. It's not a place for you to just go and like it's not like Vegas.
Oh, no. This is definitely not Vegas.
Yeah.
I've been to Vegas twice. This is not Vegas. Well, actually, this is kind of fun. Hold on. I'll be back. All right, right here. Can you see that? Let me get hold on. Let me get rid of this screen. Can you see that?
Yeah.
That's Don Rickles. You know who Don Rickles is? Remember the old comedian that used to make fun of people? All he did was insult people. The old guy would come on like Letterman and everything, just insult people. Don Rickles, the greatest insult comic of all time. Oh my God. Bigsy, I want to just shut the thing off and run into the wall. He's like an idol of mine, like literally one of my idols my entire lifetime. Don Rickles, friends with Frank Sinatra. He made fun of everybody. He made fun of Reagan. He would come out and do shows where he would just walk out and make fun of every single race, every single person, right to their face, and everyone would laugh. And they loved him for it. And people would it's like, oh my God, Don Rickles made fun of me. You'd want him to make fun of you. All right.
That's awesome.
I'm in Vegas. We're at the Stardust before they knock it down. And it's my bachelor party. And my friends go, we got a special show we got to go to. I'm like, where are we going? Because I'm thinking, we're in Vegas. It's a different type of show.
Yeah.
It ends up being Don Rickles at the Stardust. I'm like, oh, this is the greatest thing in the world. Like, I can't believe this. It's like just to see Don Rickles because I aspire to be Don Rickles. Like just to have the command of the room, be able to insult everybody, and they all just keep laughing. Just to be him was awesome. So we're sitting there, and he's like, I need a couple of you jackasses. And he looks at me and he goes, you up. I'm like, oh thank you, God. So I get to go on stage at the Stardust with Rickles. And he's like, what's your name? I'm like, Mike. He's like, you don't got a last name? How stupid are you? He just starts in on me. I'm like, best in the world. I'm like leprosy. He goes, what's that, a foot disease? I'm like, oh. Right? So then he goes, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "Providence, Rhode Island." And I swear to you, he goes, "Oh, I know all about you guys in Providence," because he knows Providence from Frank. So it's like, "Oh, this is great." So we do this whole skit. He does this whole skit with me. He brings this other guy on stage, right? He tells this poor guy, right? And I feel bad too, because the other guy he brings up on stage, and I don't think it had anything to do with it. But this is just, it's part of the story, so I can't not explain it, right?
Uh-huh.
He brings up a black guy, and and the black guy's on one side, I'm on the other side. Tells the black guy, "I'm gonna say, all right, we're stuck in the bushes. It's World War II. Go tell the sergeant this." And I want you to say, he gives this guy like 10 minutes of dialogue. The poor guy is like, just like, and everyone's laughing because it's like, it's at a point where he's never remembering it, right? He turns to me and he goes, "Italian, you go right." That was it, dude. Like, I was so happy. But like, what is what it is. All right, I'm gonna switch back. Let's talk about your hotel because it's in the same location. This is the Halloween time. If you want to go someplace up north, which I noticed you do love the foliage, the changing of the fall. You're one of those people, right?
Kinda, yeah. It's pretty.
It's the color. It's
It's like the feeling, the warmth, and just like, it's spooky season and all that. So
it makes me feel like things are more alive because they die. If that makes any dumb sense. Like seeing the leaves die and turn colors the way they do, the way they fade out like that beautifully, makes me feel better about the fact that they come back. Right? Because green is just green. It's all green. I'm like, yeah, it's all green summer. But when you see it start to fade away, it's like, I don't know. It's kind of a
yeah.
comfort to it. It's
It's
coming
just
back.
yeah, it's crazy like how like just bright and just beautiful the trees are.
Yeah. So where are we with your hotel?
All right, so we're in um hold on, give me a minute.
I will
We're
not
in
give you a minute.
we're in Tilton, New Hampshire at the Tilton Inn. Okay. Did you get that?
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right. All right. So the original inn was built in 1875, and it has hosted a few famous guests, including Thomas Edison and Henry Ford. So that's pretty cool.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Thomas Edison, and then
And
who?
Henry Ford.
Another Ford.
Mm-hmm.
You know this? I don't know my presidents.
I don't either.
But aren't you a teacher?
I'm a physical education teacher, not a history teacher.
Bang. Nice call. That was the exact response. Dude, you are money. That was a great response. I was like, fuck you, Mike. No, don't call me out on that.
I knew what you were trying to do. I knew you were
I'm
trying
just
to
saying,
do.
I don't know my history. Dude, I got my degree 2 years ago just because I showed up at a place and I said, don't I have enough credits? And they're like, yeah, you actually do. And they just gave me an associate's and I walked out. Didn't walk across the stage, nothing. Graduated in 2019 with an associate's. Still don't know how. Anyways,
Your break.
go ahead.
All right.
Continue.
So, this inn is located in the historical spot, so you can go shopping at the Tanger outlets.
Mhm.
If you want to go skiing or hiking, there's Gunstock, Loon, Waterville Valley, and Ragged. So you can go there. There are plenty of trails for biking,
Okay.
and there's a lot of golf courses nearby.
All right. I don't like biking or golf. Do you?
I like biking sometimes. Golf, I mean, I want to ride the carts, and that's about it.
I would rather walk than ride a bike. Just because I don't like the way bike people are in general. No offense to bike people.
Yeah, no, I
There's
totally
no
get
offense.
that, especially when you're driving and they're
Yeah,
just
yeah. Yeah,
slowly.
it's like, dude, I got a car. Pay
Yeah.
attention to the size. And then what was the second thing that I didn't like? You said-
Golfing.
Yeah, I can't do golf.
Mm.
But can you do golf really? I'm too athletic for golf. I hate to say that. Like I need to be in a game that's like constant. Like I can't do. Hey guys,
Yeah,
let's go
I
walk."
never. I mean, I've done like mini putt and stuff like that.
I
But
like that. Yeah, that's fun.
yeah, but like if I'm like golfing, like I'm going to like the driving range and just like smashing golf balls. Like
That'll do. But that's aggression. That's also getting into the batting cage. You ever do that?
Oh, I see, that's the thing, I'm a softball player, so I love hitting, so that's why I'm like, if I'm playing golf, like, I need to do the range.
Do do you get into, have you ever gotten to the high speed cage? Have you ever done that?
Yeah, when I was playing softball,
Alright, but do you ever do the baseball one? The
um,
hardball one?
I don't think so, I think I've only done softball.
Jesus Christ, that thing is so fast that I actually had to start my swing as the arm was at the top. People thought I was hitting the ball. No, I was just swinging before the ball even came out. That's how fast it was. I was like, it made me feel so old. I remember it. I was just like, Jesus Christ, I have to actually like trick people into thinking I can hit because
Yeah,
I'm so I was so behind. The minute it hit the pad on the first throw, I was like, oh crap. Like
I know,
I'm all
once it
done.
hits, you, like, hear the
The
sound,
thud.
you're just
Yeah.
like, "Oh, shit."
You immediately question yourself, your self-worth. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Continue with your hotel. It sounds actually like a fun place to go. I think Buddy did a good job this time.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's a lot of things to do. In the inn, there's a restaurant and pub. I mainly put this for you because I know
Okay.
that you love restaurants and pubs. It's
Pub,
located
mostly.
on the first floor.
Okay.
So the building was burnt down 3 times in the past within a span of about 100 years separating them.
So every 33.3 years, it burns down.
Yeah.
Why? No, no. Why? Who's collecting insurance? Is it the same owner?
I'm not sure. I didn't get that information. But I mean, also in the 1800s, 1900s, like they didn't understand fire. So like they have just fire. I'm not being real. So they have like fireplaces and stuff like that that they're like going. And I mean, there's been so many fires.
Mm, wait a
So,
minute. Didn't caveman understand fire?
yeah, but cavemen were in rocks. These are
Are we
houses.
doing the Three Little Pigs or are we sticking to the hotel? What I'm saying is, what do you mean they didn't understand fire in the 1800s? Like, that's a really weird statement to make. They made guns. They were making guns.
If you look at the history, there's so many like house fires and stuff like that. Like, I mean, I
It's
know.
not that they didn't understand fire. They didn't understand how to not build cheap wooden houses connected to where if one burnt, the whole thing went up like a tinderbox.
Okay, yeah, I didn't mean, like, fire itself.
Yeah,
I
that's
meant
what I'm making sure. I'm just clarifying that.
no. I mean,
All right.
no, it's not that. It was just
Even
like,
the dog's looking at you like, dude,
I don't know, she's, like, licking
why
something.
would you say that? You know, the dog's like, why would you say that about fire? Like, look, see, look at that face. All right, you can continue.
Alright, so one of these particular fires, in the 1800s, claimed the life of a 12-year-old girl named Laura.
Ah,
Um, her and her family, used to live there, and they used to live in the Sanborn room, which is called the Sanborn room now. Um,
which makes
so
sense.
yeah, so it said that she's still around. Um, under the previous owner, Taps, Rhode Island, so Ghost Hunters, the show Ghost Hunters, they actually went out to this place and they said that they must have connected with this little girl, and then they said that there's also other spirits in that area in the hotel too. Um, Guests have said that Laura is nice and stays out of the way most of the time, but she does sometimes rattle glasses at the pub, and she likes to knock things off the shelves.
Or wait a minute. How old is she?
12.
Why is she in the pub?
I mean, if I was stuck at 12 years old and I couldn't drink, I'd go to the pub.
That tells so much about you. But my question, I guess, is the 12-year-old that's there, you would think she's stuck in a 12-year-old mind, right? They don't age, do they?
No, because I mean, you don't have those experiences, so
That's a weird thing right there. That there's a girl ghost that rattles glasses in a pub where the only people that could record this stuff are drunks.
I mean,
You
honestly,
know,
I mean, she's being respectful though, because honestly, like at least she's not hanging out like in her room. At least and she's not scaring the guests. At least she's like at a pub where there's a bunch of people.
I'm led to believe that in this drunken environment, there's a little girl that rattles glasses and makes stuff fall over.
Mike, not everyone goes to the pub and gets drunk. So I think that's your problem.
Why would you? Why else? What?
It's also
Big Z. Not everybody goes to the library and reads books.
they
That's the
don't. They
same-
actually go there.
I'm with you. Same sort of statement, right?
Yeah, they go there to study.
However, when they go to pubs, they drink. There's a difference. Like, I know what you're trying to say. Okay. Continue with the hotel.
So the Sanborn room is one of the more popular rooms, along with the Mary Baker Eddy in the Tilton room, specifically for the paranormal activities that are that occurred in this room.
So there's more than one room that have stuff going on?
Yeah. I didn't get much information about the other stuff. I've only learned about Laura, but yes, there have been guests that said that there's other things going on and at other rooms. But if you think about it, 1875, that's a long, that's what, 140
Yeah, they
something
didn't even understand fire.
yeah,
Would you go there?
together.
Would you go there? Be honest. Like, we're trying to send people here. I mean, the numbers going across the screen. No one's calling in. Would you go there? Like, with all these different spirits?
Especially with the amount of things that we can do, then yeah. It doesn't seem too much of a paranormal hotspot. It seems like it's more of a relaxed paranormal hotspot, but there's a lot of things that you can get there. You can do there.
What is all right. A relaxed. I don't know if I've ever heard those terms, but I don't know if anyone said those words in a sentence before you just said them. A relaxed paranormal hotspot.
Yeah.
Like she just said. Seems like a family-friendly ghosting.
Yeah. So it's more relaxed. Like it's like you're not gonna go there and get like
Terrified.
Yeah, you're not gonna go there and get pushed down the stairs or anything like that. Like
I would hope not.
yeah, I mean there's some places that you will. But
Then I'm never going to those places. If I'm gonna get pushed down the stairs.
That'd be fun.
To get pushed down the stairs?
Yeah.
You've never fallen down a flight of stairs in your life. That's why you say it like that. You sound like someone who
I actually almost did this weekend. I almost killed myself going down the stairs.
Yeah. So once you fall down a flight of stairs, you'll never make that joke again because
So have you? Is that why?
I was carrying a 40-gallon snake tank by myself because I'm an idiot on a third floor, and I turned it.
For having a snake.
I was gigantic to them. It fell. The snake wasn't in it, but all the sand, everything else was in it. This was heavy as shit, and it fell and hit my forehead, and my head cracked it like a softball would crack a thing, and then the whole tank shattered. And luckily, my instinct is to take the bump like a wrestler, so I threw myself against the back wall, and before I knocked myself unconscious, my back hit the wall instead of me turning sideways and going down a full flight of stairs that went 3 ways down. If I would have went down the stairs, dead. The fact that I took the bump and fell, I'm still alive, but goddamn, you don't want to fall on stairs. What's that?
So that was a very traumatic experience.
For me, it was because it was like, I got this. Oh my God, I'm so stupid. Crack. Like that's all I remember. I'm thinking that my last thought was, well, I'm so stupid because I could see it. I was like, here it comes. Smash. Out. All right. So, other than these things, your place doesn't sound that bad. How are the rooms? Like, did you see any of the rooms? Are they, in other words, are they old school? The architectural design of the rooms. Like, what are we looking at?
It's pretty old school looking.
So they
You're
keep it old school.
You're definitely gonna walk into like history.
All right, so they did. So it's not gonna look like just a regular inn, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's not like you're walking into like the Hilton Hotel. Like you're not gonna see stuff like that. But you're gonna walk in and you're gonna be like, okay, like yeah, I'm definitely in a historical place.
I think that would make a big difference for me with that place. Like, you know what I mean? If I heard all that history about it and I went in, it looked like a Hilton, I'd be like,
Yeah, it'd be strange. I feel
I'm
like
out.
it's almost like this inn kind of gives like home vibes, which is like weird to say because I've never been, but seeing pictures and stuff like that, like it seems like it's a good homey place that you're gonna be safe in and you might see Laura.
Um, I don't know if I would go to this place. I want people to go to it, but I don't know if I would. Listen, I want to see if that worked. Here's what I have for you.
Okay.
Buddy came up with this place. It's this Vermont hotel called. I don't know what the name of it is now, but it's the what's that fucked up word? Give me a second because it'll come to me. It's the starts with the Equinox. It's the Equinox. That's what they changed it to. The Equinox House in Vermont. That's now the official name. But all right, so this place, and I'll show you pictures in a second, was built in like 1760. So they probably didn't even understand water. Like we're way back, you know. So, sorry.
They didn't get food either.
No, they probably had no idea how to eat it. You know?
Uh-uh.
So they had a few taverns and inns, whatever, for weary travelers. And then as the American Revolution started to bubble up, there was a pub called the Marsh Tavern, and it became a hotbed for dissent against the British occupation. So throughout the years that followed, the guy that owned the place, by the way, I'll let you guess what color he is. Thaddeus Munson. Anyways, another white guy when he was running the place, and what happened was he pledged his allegiance to the Queen. Now, here's the thing. I'm pretty positive the war never happened in Vermont. No one ever fought on the fields of Vermont. It just never happened.
Though.
What's that?
You're in New England though.
I know, but hear me out on this. This guy owns a tavern, right? Everybody in the tavern does not like the Queen and wants to be of dissent. Now, the thing is, in a tavern, you hear people talking, bullshitting. It's not like this guy's like wiping the bar and he's not hearing anything. This is going on. It's not like it happened like in one day. So, if you're the guy that owns this place,
Did people know that he was loyal? That he was a
no,
loyalist?
he I think it was partially through their whole whatever. He pledged his allegiance. Yeah, he pledged it. Like,
Yeah.
I give him props having the balls to stick to what he believed in, but
Oh, for sure.
but you got to know when to read the room. I mean,
Mhm.
because he was kicked out. That was the first building that they claimed in the name of like the revolution. Like for them, like they took that from him, and he had to go live in Canada.
Yeah.
So it housed all this stuff with people like that. And then it was more like fly fishermen and boring stuff coming to the whole area. But the main thought to this. So it started a militia, a main militia. So he turned Tory. They coined a term after the way he did it. Irish suggested confiscating Tory's property to sell and help raise funds for a local militia. When William Marsh declared his allegiance to the crown, he turned Tory. The group known as the Green Mountain Boys took Marsh Tavern as its first expropriation and William Marsh fled to Canada. Sean Harrington, a local historian, explained the British never invaded Vermont during the conflict. After the Battle of Saratoga, the tide turned for the colonists who decided to win the war. It's got, the old school, when you picture in your head, like, if you're going to wear a gown and you're going to go all old school 20s, you want that staircase to be like enormous and then go up and turn.
Like
Right, Biggsy?
Titanic.
Yes. So this place has one of those. Now,
Ooh.
so Mary Todd Lincoln stayed there with her sons, the wife of Abe Lincoln. Now, I always heard she was crazy. Maybe I'm wrong, but I always heard Mary Lincoln was crazy. Whatever. Anyways, Abe Lincoln was going to stay there, and they actually built a special room for him to come and stay. But we all know he went to a play before coming to the hotel, which I would have booked that differently. And he never made it there alive. Now,
That would have been like just history changing if he like went to the hotel first and then the play.
that would have been a Marty McFly moment.
Right?
Yeah, it would
Like
have.
just like something that little, like just changed your life completely.
Sarah, you read my mind. You're freaking me out. That's exactly what I was thinking. Gone in the Wind. But for some reason, staircase, Gone in the Wind. That's what I was saying. That's creepy. That creeped me out just there. All right. So there were presidents that stayed there. So this place has had a lot of like whatever. They get a great music hall. William Taft gave a rousing speech. A month earlier, Theodore Roosevelt was there, giving a speech. I don't know why back in the day speeches was so much fun. There was so little entertainment. Think about that for a second. So little entertainment that hearing like an old white guy give a speech was fun in a big event.
But I feel like back then, like the way that they talked, like they were so inspirational. Like if you just read all the speeches that like they used to give, it's just so inspirational. Like it's like us, like, sometimes people like read inspirational quotes now just to like get you through the day. That's like how it was, especially back then when life was kind of shitty. You had
Yeah,
all these going on.
I think it's I think the best speeches were the ones that gave people hope or
Mhm.
gave people just the image of a different future. Which
Exactly.
unfortunately is why that Reinstein Wine guy was so successful. Because that's what he did. I mean, if you ever heard him give a speech, he's just yelling and spitting and yelling and spitting and yelling and spitting. So if he's not giving you all positive, like you're going to be great, Big Z, you're going to be the next big thing. If he's not doing that, why the hell is he yelling and spitting? Like it's all hype. So, by the way, that guy officially a jerk. He was a jerk. All right. So more about this hotel because it went on. Buddy really had a fascination with this place. They started their own water. They were bottling water, pure spring water. This is something that's like unheard of back in the day. But they've been bottling water and other products like ginger champagne for like a case of 24.5 bottles sold for $3.25 and could be shipped for 50 cents. Now, the Equinox House had marble sidewalks, which
Ooh,
is really awesome, but very bizarre.
yeah. That's like
Uh,
some fancy shit.
Yeah. Thanks for putting that classy touch on it. That's some
You're
fancy
welcome.
shit.
That's some fancy shit.
Fancy shit. All right. A secret passage was revealed in renovations during 1991. They went into the attic in 2 different rooms in the wing, and no one knew that it connected. So someone had their free run from the attic to 2 different bedrooms in the hotel, and no
Do
one
you
knew.
think do you think he built that like just in case like they spotted, like they knew he was a loyalist or something? The previous owner?
I think it's a much worse human reasons to just peek in on rooms and have that control feeling of he can get different rooms at different times or watched people in different rooms at different times. There's
Gross.
no, I don't even mean just gross. It's just a control thing to just know where people. Something weird when it's connected. When you go through that much trouble, like you're not gonna hide out. I mean,
Well, that's back in the day. Like, I mean, you know, they had hideouts like just in case like war broke out or, you know, stuff
maybe
like
it could
that.
be for that. I just never trust when they make it. I always think that like they have
But if you look
nefarious
at the
reasons.
But if you look at the old houses, like they have, especially like for like slavery and stuff like that, like they had these little hideouts just like in the walls and stuff like that to hide the slaves.
Yeah.
So that could have been something like that.
But this thing became a gigantic country club. This became a gigantic golf resort. Like they started having the Australian Open there. They started having all these different things there, and it changed dramatically. But so I'll show you the pictures. The actual like landscape to me, I would love to see. Like this is the kind of place that I would go to because let's see. There it is. Like that right there, that's awesome.
God,
Like look at the mountains. There you go, your trees. Like look at the marble, like right?
I don't belong there.
No, like yeah, I feel like I would get yelled at for walking on the grass.
Oh, I'd get
Right?
yelled at just to look at it.
Yeah.
You'd
But
be like,
like
"Yo, you don't belong here."
imagine waking up with a cup of coffee and you walk out the door and you stand right there, Bigsy, and that's what you look at.
Yeah, that's stunning.
Right? So here's a bunch of guys back in the day at the hotel, and I know you're gonna be shocked on this, and I don't want you to be. But if you notice, they're all old white guys with white beards.
I know. Look at that dude's beard. That's intense.
Yeah, it's a bit much. It's a bit much because he can't
Like,
eat soup. He can't like. There's a lot of things that he can't eat. Believe me when I tell you this. Like the beard can only get so long before you just no longer can have stuff. Because when this guy chews, don't tell me pieces of that beard don't go in his mouth. And once
no,
that
so
happens,
that whole beard's probably yellow.
yes, it's definitely not white. It looked white in the picture, but it's definitely not white. All right.
How when was that taken?
Back when they didn't know about. Never mind. I think it was in 1853, I believe.
I don't think they knew about cameras back then.
What's that?
I don't think they knew about cameras and photos
No.
back then.
No, I don't even know how they took photos back then. Like I thought they had to have that big thing and pull the string and then pop, and then people had to stand. I don't know how they did it. So this is it now. Established in 1769. Look, they kind of made it a little more green. They spruced it up. This is a
Wow,
place I think I would stay. I would stay in an area like this. Like this is fun. There's a lot of things going on in the local area. There's those are the type of rooms I want to stay in. What are your thoughts?
I think that's too fancy for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
No, I would definitely stay there, but
So
I mean, I
you're
love the historical parts that was built in the 1700s.
so all right. So one place we had a ghost named Boots that walks on the roof. All right.
Yeah, is there any paranormal stuff in this one?
Well, all right. So the paranormal stuff is all the militia, which I didn't want to go into, but thank you for bringing it up. Whew. Buddy did not send out the memo. Yes, there is nonstop militia. Like that's what the problem is. You hear the young, apparently troops, but that's what blows my mind because, like that British historian said, there was no fighting done in Vermont.
Yeah, but if you think about like all the stress and all that stuff during
In
those
planning,
times,
yes.
yeah, that's gonna stay. Especially if they use that hotel as like a
Their
place where
headquarters.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you have all that stress like that high intense energy, it's gonna stay there. And they probably walked back and forth in those halls for years.
And I would think that knowing or not knowing, but suspecting that the owner of the establishment that you're trying to make your headquarters is against you would bring tremendous stress.
Oh, for sure. Especially like if he was sending letters to like the queen and stuff like that. Like you can only imagine all the high stress, like all like those emotions and those feelings that were going on in that time.
That, you know, not to get off track, but do you know why the British Army wore red coats? And in the first of all, how hard it was to get the dye, because we had actually on someone who does the repair work at the Varnum Armory for on all the old school Civil War stuff. That's what her degree's in. So she explained the fact that it was so expensive to get that red dye back in that day. First off, but did you know the reason they did it? Because I didn't know until they told me.
No, I think I've heard something, but I'm not quite sure.
Pure intimidation. In other words, we are not hiding from anyone. You're gonna see us coming no matter where we are. Almost like Star Wars with, I'm being dead serious, with stormtroopers, and then we won't talk about that guy that's a jerk who made his people, everybody dress up the same like that too. Their
Oh, yeah.
costumes, their uniforms, as much as I hate them, like the way that they were built were for intimidation. There was reasoning behind that. So that's
Well, I
why.
wonder too if like the red, like they're showing them like we have money, like
Yep. Well, here we
all that.
come.
Yeah.
Give in to the queen. Give in, like, you're not gonna beat us.
Hmm.
And then you know what happened? The Americans just, hid and did tactics that weren't appropriate to just marching straight. And
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, they were smart, especially in the woods and stuff like that. Like they were they made sure that they were hiding and not being stupid. Like, here I am, shoot me.
I'm in bright red. By the way, boots in one of the things. The other one has Civil War. The bar has somebody in there. There's a couple of rooms that have a couple people they think have spirits.
It's relaxed.
I hope you guys don't mind. I mean, in the spirits, just go to it. The other one I said in Vermont has boots. And what did yours have as far as paranormal or murders?
Laura.
Yeah, that's right, Laura. Wasn't there more than that too? And on top of that, you said it was a hot. You said it was a hotbed for paranormal. It was a laid back hotbed for paranormal activity.
Relaxed paranormal activity.
I like laid back better. You're right. So you said relaxed paranormal, whatever it is, activity. So these places actually aren't that bad, are they? Like,
Oh.
I might be able to put up with them. Like, I haven't heard any. We didn't tell any stories of any ghosts that like sit on your bed or move
Yeah.
you. You just
Yeah,
don't like it when they walk on the roof.
Because like I said, it sounds more of like a real person than the actual spirit.
I get that. So you know what? I hope people call in. I really do. You can see the number on the bottom of the screen, allegedly. Vermont would be a great place to visit, to be quite honest. All three of these places, if you're looking for like an old school style and you're a ghost hunting team, go check these places out. It'd be great to hang out, see what vibes you get. From what I keep hearing and reading, all three places have some sort of like activity going on that is drawing people to, just because of how it makes them feel. I hate to say that, but like paranormal people will say that I get feelings from these places. And I read the reviews on these hotels, and I had to have one person per hotel say, it gave me this feeling. Now, whether that's bullshit or not, you know how strong that is to type that into the comments? Because you know how many other people, when they see that, whether they know you're bullshit or not, they connect instantly with you. And it just expands like a spider web. So it's like, oh, they're all hotbeds. I don't know. Okay. But great show, Bigsy. We're gonna have to talk to Buddy because he's still giving us stuff that have a lot of hauntings. But I think we did a good job.
So this one was a good. These three hotels are pretty good though. They're not as scary as the last hotels.
No, they're not. They're not. But they're not as. They're actually not as nice to stay in. Like, I want a fireplace, and I want like. Man, I would love to have bricks and wood in my room, just like old school, like that old type style. And these are more like man, sometimes I got to censor myself. It's like I want to be like just sitting on a rocking chair with like drinking like a lemonade, complaining about how hot it is with a fan. It's like that kind of like
But the
atmosphere.
thing is, you're gonna run into that. You're gonna run into paranormal because that's all historical. And if you want like to complain how hot it is, then you need to go down south. And down south has a lot of paranormal activity due to the wars.
I think the one thing we touch upon in every show is that the best part about paranormal, and to me, the only part about paranormal that I care about is when people have one-on-one interactions with it and what they felt, thought, saw, or can relate to me. Because I've given up on proof. I've given up on stuff like that. Like, I want to see the proof and I want other people to see it because I actually am now at a point where I'm behind you. Like, I'm behind people. Like, I'm with you. I know you have proof. I know people have seen stuff, but like, we're trying to break through a wall of people that are ignoring the fact of all this. So we got to be louder and bigger and strong and get through it. I'm all for it. Bigsy, anything else you want to talk about for Warner before I wrap it up? I want to make sure you guys get that out again.
Just that
What
we're
date?
having those events.
Yeah, she's right. What is the day of the ball?
The day, okay, so this comes Saturday. It's the third annual bash at the Wilson Castle. 10/29 is the ball at the hall, so at the Hartsdale Hall.
All right, but what is the price? What are they going to show up in? Like, what's the whole? Where do they need to go to find out? Like, in other words, I'm going to a ball. It's a 20s ball. I'd be like, all right, what do I do? So how would I?
So if you go to the Warner Paranormal Explorers Facebook page,
All right.
you can find the events there. You can click on the events page, and it'll bring you right to the tickets. You can order tickets right through there. Sarah, yes, it's kind of like a speakeasy style, but it's kind of like the way that we're describing it is like The Shining. So like that 1920s, like, dress in like a flapper kind of thing, with the long cigarettes and the cool feathers in your hair, all that stuff.
And for the guys,
Tuxes.
so dress like I normally dress.
Do you
All
dress
right.
in tuxes?
Oh, if I go out.
Well,
So,
yeah.
anyways, so that sounds like it would be fun. That sounds like a fun event, and yeah, so they need to go to that website. Is Matt's head going to be on the tickets?
Of course.
So his face will be on the tickets.
His face is on everything.
Yeah, I'm afraid of getting money back in change with Matt's head on it. Is what I'm worried about.
If he could, he would.
I know he would.
I know with his face.
I know he would. I know he would, and I have a great idea for him too that I'm going to spring on him, but I'll wait because I know he would love it. That's all I got, Bigsy. Thanks for being on. So for Bigsy Dodge, it's me, Mike Leopard King, Mike Hill. This was Legit Paranormal Vacation Planners, brought to you by legitpodcast.com. Thank you, Sarah. We will see you again next week. By the way, as far as football is concerned, I was 9 wins and 3 losses. That's paranormal. I think that's something. We're out.